Alright, so I went back to Ohio Outdoor Living Group and I bought some more rough sawn ash. Then I went over to the shop of BNG Dayton and milled it into flooring. So that's what I want to do today, is get that installed. Rip this guy down. So I did a lot of research going into this, and everything I read said don't bother making your own flooring. It's loads of work, and it's easier to just buy it. And I can confirm that everyone was definitely telling the truth. Unless you want something that's unique and one of a kind. So some of the things that I learned was it's really hard to dimension. I already knew this from making the doors, but it's really hard to dimension flooring that's this long. These are like 7.5 feet long. So maybe make smaller pieces so that it's easier to muscle over the jointer. And then it's also hard to hold them flat and keep them flat on the router table. So I bought this router bit set like 10 years ago, so I just used the one that I had. I think if I was going to do this again, I might even use just like a shiplap joint, or maybe just face nail it with like old-fashioned nails, or screw it down and use plugs. I think that'd look just as good and be a little bit easier. And this nail gun for flooring that I had, I borrowed it from my friend, and it could use either cleats or staples, and I definitely prefer the cleats. He had like one thing of cleats left, and when I ran out of the cleats, the staples, they don't have like a ring shank on them, and they also, like every other one, split the tongue. That may be due to using the wrong bit set. A better bit set made for flooring might have made a thicker tongue. But every other one broke, so it was really hard to get them to go together. And if you're curious, it cost $110 to buy all that wood, and took 9 hours of time to make the flooring. So I thought I could recoat this in 2 hours, but I actually have to wait 48 hours. All right, so now I've got 2 full propane tanks in. So one of the positives about that furnace is, even though it uses battery, it's super efficient. I ran all winter off this big 40 pound tank, and when I just went to get it refilled, I only used 5 gallons of propane all winter, so it was like 20 bucks. And I want to check on the spring again real quick, see how it's running. If the ground's any indication, it's going good. Yeah, still running. You can see how big this cedar stump is. I mean, just by my hand there. And it's one thing to take a tree and use it, but I mean, it's just like someone just dropped it for no reason. I don't know why someone would do that. Okay, so that's as much as I want to do on this wall right now. I've got some wiring still to do in that corner, and I don't know if I've ever explained to you guys how we decided to lay out the kitchen, but it's going to be a one-wall kitchen. And right here we'll have the sink. The counter height is about here, and we're going to have a cooktop over here, a propane cooktop, and not a stove. And then we're going to use a slab from Ohio Outdoor Living Group, probably hackberry, and the slab countertop is going to be, you know, normal size, and then it's going to curve in and get more narrow on this side, and then we're going to have a built-in table that's also movable, so like a built-in booth seat over here and some chairs over here, and then if we want to sit all the way around it, we can move the table up. Normally it'll just kind of go centered on this window. And then over here, I haven't figured out how to do it yet, but we'll have some kind of way to get up into the loft, like a kind of a quasi storage staircase thing, or maybe a spiral staircase. There's a wooden header behind this, and then I've got the foam on the inside for insulation. Guarantee when I go to do this trim, I shoot fasteners into this metal. And I explained this a long time ago, but I didn't have too many subscribers then. But these are what's called Simpson header hangers. They're HH6s, and they're made for when you're doing advanced framing, when you got 2x6s on 24-inch centers. They avoid all the extra studs. So it's just to minimize thermal breaks in your framing. And they are code approved in certain areas. And so you also might have noticed that I only have a single top plate, and a double top plate is not needed here because every single rafter falls directly on top of a stud. And then we've got rafter ties and the loft beams which hold the structure together in this direction. Look, I figured it out. Thanks for all the tips. It's funny what you guys zero in on. And I got a lot of good tips on soundproofing the furnace too, so thanks for that. Next time down here, we'll probably try a couple of those. I think it's going to work. All right, well, thanks for watching. See you next week or maybe the week after that.